Don't you just love how this season has played out, Harley? Would have thought this was gonna be it for us?
Man, no. I mean, we said it from the beginning, man. We thought 5 wins, and this team is well beyond expectations, and fans are excited. The fans are slowly coming back to NRG, and they're
Mm-hmm.
believing again, man. The belief is back.
Ooh, great segue. This episode is brought to you by Bet Online. The only people that don't get time off this time of year are pro athletes and us at Bet Online. With NFL bowl season and NBA in full swing over the holidays, Bet Online isn't taking a second off to make sure you have the up to the second odds, news, and info.
BetOnline has all the sports wagering info available you need with desktop and mobile access. Head there today to get into the action. Remember to use our promo code BLEAV,
Mm.
BLEAV, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit.
Now, I think before we move on and talk about what's been going on, we got to go over the Browns game.
Yeah, we
Now,
didn't have a good chance to.
Now, going into this game, we both said, do miracles happen twice? Does lightning strike twice? Well, the answer was no. Houston Texans, they get
Emphatically.
destroyed. Even though the score is 36-22, they got destroyed by the Cleveland Browns. Joe Flacco was once again elite. I mean, and just from the start, you could tell that he had the Houston Texans day, and it was a rough game. I was in attendance. It was hard to watch, but the shout out to the Damian Pierce touchdown run, that was crazy. Hey, if that's how you get Damian Pierce involved for the rest of the season, I kind of like that, right? You get him going on a full head of steam. Hey, he could run someone over and still make some stuff happen. So shout out to Damian Pierce. But the Houston Texans lose 36-22, and we see a Mills Mafia signing.
I'm so I'm so glad that CJ should be back.
Woo!
So we don't have to entertain that conversation about Davis Mills and Case Keenum. I did tell you 2 weeks ago for the Titans game, I'd rather have Davis Mills. If
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna play the past real quick, I'd rather have had Davis Mills. And I know Case Keenum won you the game last week against the Tennessee Titans, but the Tennessee Titans only got 5 wins for a reason. They're not a good football team, and it is why I was, not so high on
Mm-hmm.
this game going forward. And not only yourself, but many fans made me more optimistic about this game. And I just did not like our chances entering it. But hey, I'm always going to give my team a chance to win. They didn't. They got their ass whooped. The final score isn't indicative
Mm-hmm.
of what that beatdown was. What is up with Joe Flacco? That guy was throwing seeds. I mean, it wasn't just like Stefanski did a great job schematically getting guys open, but at the same time, like Amari Cooper on a lot of these plays, there was guys right on Amari Cooper, and these were just lasers from Joe Flacco. I did not expect that kind of quarterback play this Sunday.
Hey man, we might have to face the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs, but this time we might be at the dog pound. I'll
Bring it
take
on.
that when my quarterback is CJ Mother effing Stroud. This is from Ian Rappaport. Potential good news for the Texans. Quarterback CJ Stroud in the NFL's concussion protocol is expected to practice today, which he did. Coach D'Amico Ryans told Stacey Dales on Sunday that Stroud had been in meetings on Friday. He's definitely making progress. This would be no progress. Now, I'm going to give you guys the Houston Texans injury report for today's practice. It is pretty big. And pause. That's crazy. That's wild. Now, okay, let's continue with this.
Righty.
Let's
Fiery, huh?
continue with this injury list. I'm gonna read it to you, Harley. Safety Adrian Amos did not practice, non-injury related, personal reasons. Will Anderson Jr. didn't practice due to an ankle. However, we
There we go.
heard he is without a walking boot. Good signs. Maybe we don't see him against Tennessee, but you
Mhm.
might see him next week when it's at Indy and you might be fighting for the AFC South title. Malik Collins' hip did not practice. Jonathan Grenard didn't practice. Neither did Shaq Mason, but I think this is becoming his veteran rest day.
Yeah.
Steven Nelson, foot, hamstring, and hand did not
he's,
practice.
he's going through it.
Sheldon Rankins' ankle did not practice. Laramie Tunsil knee, but this is the veteran rest day. Limited, Noah Brown. Blake Cashman, that is huge. If you get him back on Sunday against Tennessee, I mean, I am loving my chances defenses wise. He's been your best linebacker all year. He just needs to stay healthy. Nico Collins, calf, limited. Denzel Perriman, ankle, limited. Wide receiver Robert Woods, rest day. And last but not least, quarterback CJ Stroud, concussion, was limited, but he is back at practice. We also heard in the group chat, Harley, in our group chat. So if you are not following us on Twitter, make sure you do. Someone said they saw CJ Stroud at the movie theaters. And, you know, to me, if you're able to watch a movie on a big old screen, it's very loud, you know,
Lights,
you know, you're ready to go. So it was a good sign to see that he was out there. I do think he stays limited tomorrow and becomes a full participation on Friday. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, obviously, it's great to see that he's back. It's Aaron Wilson did report that his sensibility to light has gotten better. So that's obviously good news. CJ Stroud looks to be trending towards playing this Sunday. And hey, I look at it like this. If the Houston Texans took out the Tennessee Titans with Case Keenum and the same amount of injuries, then now slot in CJ Stroud and possibly the same amount of injuries, then I like my chances this Sunday.
100%. And the question right here by Dominic, with all these injuries, do you see Jackson starting or how much playing time? Now, who is he talking about? Brand new Houston Texan, but he's been in the H before. Kareem Jackson, former first round pick out of Alabama, who spent, I think, what, 7-8 years with us before he went to Denver?
Yeah, I want to say 8 years.
Yes, about 78 years. He was a defensive captain at one point. He was a cornerback. He was a safety. Kareem Jackson, welcome back to the Houston Texans. And the way he's talking, it sounds like he knows he's here for a playoff push. And that got me more excited about him coming back to the H.
Yeah, man, it was absolutely fun to see Kareem Jackson back. I got excited, and you know, it hurts that Jimmy Ward got placed on IR, and that was, you know, the subsequent move to bringing in Kareem Jackson. Shout out to the Just Fans podcast. Great job meeting you today, my bud. Carlos, nice to meet you, my guy. Kareem Jackson was absolutely a fun signing, right? I mean, fans got excited. Fans got ecstatic. And then Jimmy Ward got placed on IR, and I kind of was like, well, damn.
Makes sense, you know?
Now I know why they signed Kareem Jackson. Okay, so we'll have a conversation with Jimmy Ward probably shortly. But Kareem Jackson, I'm happy that he's back. I always loved him here in Houston. He had a rough rookie year, but ever since the rookie
it wasn't
year,
rough, bro. It was.
I know. I'm understating it. I mean, there was guys. I still remember there was guys on the radio whenever John and Lance were still, I believe, on 610 or could have been 1560 the game, and that is old. So
wow.
So it was one of those stations when they were on before they were on ESPN. And I remember this fan called in and made fun of Kareem Jackson in his rookie year and was like, "Oh, there's a deep pass, 40-yard bomb, and Kareem Jackson falls down again." And that was the running joke, that Kareem Jackson always fell down. And I'm so glad he got out of that. And I'm so glad he's back in Houston. He played with DeMeco Ryans his rookie year, 2010, 2011 year. He has a connection to DeMeco. He has a connection with us, obviously, because of the organization. Jonathan Joseph, There's many connections there, and it's great to see that Kareem Jackson, who's a hard hitting safety, he's going to lay the Madden hit stick on the opposing team any chance he gets. We all know that he's been suspended a few games, he's been fined a few games, but he did say himself that he's happy to be back in Houston. He also felt like he was kind of getting targeted with the hits that were coming from the NFL. So we'll see, but I don't know how much playing time he's going to get immediately. We still got to be realistically that he is 35. Um, and this is a system he still has to learn. I know he knows a little bit about it, but maybe because he's a veteran, you can put him in trial by fire, maybe. But I hope he does well. Like, there we go. I hope he does well, and I hope he performs very well for us, especially not having Jimmy Ward out there.
I actually think he plays right away with Jimmy Ward being out there. Not only is, Kareem Jackson a pretty good safety, but this is also another veteran, another leader that
Mm,
you need on the defensive side of the ball, a great open field tackler. And then you're talking about a player who could change the momentum of a game with just one hit.
yeah.
That's the kind of power that Kareem Jackson has. And I am excited that it is back here in H-Town. And I think it's something that we could feed off of, right? He's going to bring us the shades of the Bulls on parade. And we're going to see flashes of Kareem Jackson here in H-Town, the last two games of the season. I absolutely love this move by the Houston Texans. And it fits what we've been seeing all year, former players returning to the H to bring this team back up to relevancy. Shout out to the Houston Texans for bringing back Kareem Jackson. T said, let's talk about Jalen getting benched. Man, that is another conversation. Whenever they have a Believe in Rockets, we're going to be on there. Just know we are right there. And, it's not looking good for Jalen Green.
No, it's not looking good for Jalen Green. He keeps getting benched in the fourth quarter. We keep mentioning all this past. Let's talk about one of the past players that is a little bit of a breaking news here from the Houston Texans in past former great Andre the Great Johnson, number 80, being a finalist this time now for the third time in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Hopefully he gets in. Everybody knows this man is a Hall of Famer. The comment section, drop the goat emoji for
Mm.
Andre Johnson. Let's get it rolling. Let's smash that like button as well. But drop the goats in the comments. Let's make sure Andre Johnson gets in the damn Hall of Fame. I need him in the Hall of Fame. We need him in the Hall of Fame. He would be our first Houston Texan in the Hall of Fame. And damn it, it needs to happen as soon as possible.
I think I might make the trip if he goes.
I'm thinking about it too.
It,
And when it was 2 years ago, I was like, man, I don't know. Last year, I was like, I don't know. Now I'm starting to like, okay, you know what? I'm thinking about doing that. I'm
Shout
thinking
out to
about
Los Angeles. Shout out to Los Angeles.
it.
No,
Shout out
Andre
to
was different, man. I mean, and I think Andre was one of the first players that I was like, that dude's great. Like, he's great. And, I always go back to the story on, the day I really became a diehard Andre fan, the game against the Washington Redskins. He goes up, grabs it, touchdown. What was funny was my power went out because if you remember, there was a storm that day, and my side of Pasadena, it lost power. So we had to run to the car, turn it on, and hear Sports Radio 610 and hear Mark Vandermeer's call. Then we go back and see the highlights and see Gary Kubiak not even looking at the field goal, but
Mm.
just seeing the reaction from the sideline. And, you hear the legendary call from Mark Vandermeer, right? He says, Andre Johnson, you said you're one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. I'm going to go get it. And he did. I need Andre in the Hall of Fame. And I'll tell you what, man, if JJ gets in, no matter how I feel, I'm going to go over there and give him some love too, man.
Boo. The JJ haters here, bro. JJ haters here, bro.
Don't worry. He's going to be wearing the number 1 next year here in H-Town, man. Shout out to JJ Watt. Shout out to JJ Watt. But how many times can you be a finalist until you're like not allowed anymore?
Well, I don't know that off the top of my head. I don't.
Because it
But
took Chris Carter a minute.
it took him forever, and it was upsetting. Chris Carter was a damn good wide receiver. There's no way he should have waited that long. I'm glad the chat's dropping the goat emojis, dropping their favorite Andre Johnson moment. My boy Danny dropping the OT win against the Jaguars, buddy. That was an elite little wide receiver screen to Andre Johnson, and he took it to the house. Oh
Dude,
man,
fantasy that day was crazy because I had him
he had a
and Justin
game.
Blackman. Because if you remember, Justin Blackman
He had
went
a good game
2 for
too.
2.
Justin Blackman. Wow.
What happened? Oh, he just couldn't stop smoking.
Yeah, I think it was drugs with him. I
Man,
think
that's
he had drug
crazy.
addiction. Yeah, it sucks, man. A lot of talent.
Just fantastic, man. With that being said, as we continue, Andre Johnson, I we hope you make it. You definitely deserve to be,
Yes.
in the talks of one of the great football players to ever play this game. And if you just had a quarterback, man, we might be talking about one of the greatest. I mean, we are already talking about it right now.
Yeah.
But imagine if he had a good solidified quarterback for maybe 5 years, and we might be talking a whole different conversation. With that being said, man, how are you feeling, Harley? The only thong I'm mad at JJ
Yo,
Watt because he got included
pause,
into the Ring of Honor but couldn't
pause.
sign a 1-day contract.
Nah, bro.
He turned to
JJ
retire.
wears thongs. Anyway, I mean, these comments are going crazy. I absolutely love the comment section right now. They're having a lot of fun. You guys think Arian makes the Ring of Honor? This is coming from Dominic. Shout out to Dominic. We've
Oh,
met
that's
him
a
already.
Dominic.
And I think Cushing would have if it wasn't for the juice. Arian's a tough one. It feels like he's a tweener, right? Like a lot of fans have been kind of 50-50 with Arian. I would love to see Arian in the Ring of Honor. I would. I know Arian didn't have that long of a career, but he's one of the most underrated NFL players of all time. He'll always go
Undrafted.
down as that for me. Uh, Arian Foster was just special, and everybody knows. Like when we talk about that team and those years, everyone goes straight to Andre and Arian. And they get to the ODs and the Ninja and Matt Schaub and everyone else that rolls into the teams in the memory core. But Arian with the Namaste touchdown celebration. I mean, I would love to see Arian get into the Ring of Honor. I would.
I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it. This was the touchdown king. Let's not forget. And he does talk about his time with the Texans, and it doesn't sound like he hated it. No, we are not related, but we go all the way back. I mean, you might
Yeah,
as well call us related,
yeah,
man.
basically.
We go all the way back. We're also both Mexican, so somewhere down the line, there's a little bloodline connection there. We're all related some way, right?
Yeah.
Um, how are you feeling, Harley? Final 2 games of the season, because if you would have told me that with 2 weeks left, you are not only fighting for a postseason spot, but you are also fighting potentially for first place in the AFC South with the Jaguars, you and the Colts, same record. And then you have CJ Stroud the rest of the way, the best quarterback arguably in the division already. How are you feeling, man?
I have the doubt
Mm.
because I'm a Houston sports fan.
Surprised to hear you say that. I'm not gonna lie.
Because I I'm believing. All right, pun there for believing Texans, but I am believing in the Houston Texans. I do believe that with CJ Stroud, and I continue to go back to the quote with D'Amico Ryans, that this isn't the same old Texans. Like this is the 2023 Texans. That was a quote from one of the press conferences he had, or post game conference he had, and as much as I believe it, I still in the back of my mind can't get, some of the Houston sports blunders that have happened across time, whether it was Astros, Rockets, or Texans. And the Texans have had the opportunity to control their destiny before, where they needed to get, the last 4 games, win at least 2 out of those 4 games, and you would have had home field advantage throughout the playoffs, and the Houston Texans fumbled it. There's been many times we've seen it happen before. We've seen the Houston Texans lay egg against the Colts in the playoffs. We've seen the Houston Texans do very mind-boggling things in the past, and I understand that is not accounted for the present. But I am excited about what CJ Stroud and this Houston Texans team can do. And that's what makes me believe. And I'm like 80% there where I can believe that the Houston Texans with CJ Stroud, we've said it before, as long as number 7 is out there trotting on Sunday as my quarterback, I got a chance to win any game in the NFL. And if CJ Stroud is playing these next 2 weeks, which it seems likely that he is, then I'm going to give the Texans the best chance of winning out, taking care of business, and hopefully A, a playoff spot, or B, the division. And that would be ever so exciting.
You see, so you are confident. You just have, you just have that little,
It's in the back of my mind, man.
that little memory, right? That but that little memory has 100 different games where we saw and were let down. But like you mentioned, not only the Houston Texans, that playoff game against Indianapolis Colts, it hurt me to my core. The game 7 against the Golden State Warriors, where you missed 27 3-pointers in a row. The game against the Kansas City Royals, when you were up at home and they come back and beat you. I mean, I am used to getting heartbroken by all these teams. And like you said, I mean, but we've had this battle all year. It's like, man, do we really want to go 100% confidence into this team? Because when we lose against the Panthers, we lose against the Falcons. And then when we're worried, I don't know if they could pull it off, they beat the Saints, they beat the Bengals, they beat the Titans with Case Keenum. And you're like, like, how do I act as a fan? Because being humble all the time, it's not fun. You want to be able to trash talk. You want to be able to be, a fan of the team where you could look at someone inferior and say, yeah, dude, your squad is absolutely garbage. And I have no doubt that my team could beat you on Sunday. I feel like right now we're still like, But
yeah.
With that being said, man, this has been a crazy year, brother.
It has, man. It's tough, but I do believe that, again, I'll go back to it. As long as CJ Stroud is my quarterback, I'm going to have the majority of my confidence in the Houston Texans and bring in, the last 2 games. You got to get dubs. You got to take care of business. Don't play with your food. Do your thing. This is the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans keep games close. Let's be real. They're a divisional rival. The last 2 games are against divisional rivals. And those games are always close. Those games are always a little chippy, and they're tough games. They're not supposed to be easy. Getting in the playoffs is not supposed to be easy. We've gone through a little bit of a roller coaster with this Houston Texans team. And you had the opportunity to change the depiction from fans.
Yeah.
You have the opportunity to change, the NFL's viewpoint of your team. You have that opportunity to change it, man. It's the last 2 games. There's no excuses. Like, this is it. Like, both games are must win. You want to win the division, win out. You want to get in the playoffs, win out. You got to do your thing. And CJ's got to have a good game. Texans I got to have a good game. And hey, man, let's rock and roll.
I feel like Rocky. But in Rocky in part 1, right, where you get the opportunity to go against Apollo Creed, no one knows who the hell you are. You're playing with house money. But I feel like now is the time to really announce yourself. And this is when I look at the Jaguars and I look at the Colts and I say, in the past 2 weeks, you've had the opportunity to put the Houston Texans away. There was no CJ Stroud. And we were going against the Tennessee Titans, who were coming off of a big win against the Miami Dolphins on Monday Night Football, then against the Cleveland Browns on Sunday. And for you to go 1-on-1, first of all, Good job by the Houston Texans. If you would have told me you would go 1-1 with Case Keenum, I would take that any day of the year. I
True.
will take that. But for the Jaguars to lose their fourth game in a row, for the Colts to lose 29-10 to the Atlanta Falcons, and CJ Stroud is now coming back ready at home against Tennessee, I think this is the time to take the division and head to the postseason.
I believe you, man. I mean, the expectations have risen for this team. It went from 5 wins to now it's like, hey, y'all. I mean, y'all mess with my emotions too much now. Like, I want playoffs. I want the division. I want these bigger aspirations. The Houston Texans can do that. They have the team to do it. Again, with CJ Stroud, you got D'Amico Ryans. To answer someone's question earlier, Will Anderson is out of the walk-in boot. Did not practice, but he is out of the walk-in boot. That's a good thing. Good news to hear. Jonathan Bernard also did not practice today with the high ankle sprain as well. I mean, not a high ankle sprain, just an ankle injury. With that being said, the Houston Texans are going to be playing the Titans with CJ Stroud, possibly with Blake Cashman. Possibly could be nearing a return. DJ Bieniemy said it yesterday that he thinks that Blake Cashman could possibly play Sunday. We did see him out in the practice in practicing today. Video of him via Drew Doherty for the Houston Texans, good friend of the podcast. So it's it's absolutely fun to be in this situation, but now fun's over. It's time for business. Time to take care of business. Like, it's time to do your thing. It's time to stand on business. It's time to go 2-0. It's time to beat the Titans and the Colts. Like, these are the guys that want to talk all that trash to your city, man. It's time. It's time to stand on business. It's time to represent yourself. Like CJ Stroud said it earlier in the year. Like, when he wants us to wear Texans gear with pride. All right. I'll wear my stuff with pride. Go out there and prove it for me, bud.
Ooh.
Go out there and let these boys remember what you were before you went down with that injury, what you were before that Jets game. Go show them what you're made of.
I think people forgot.
People did forget, because we about to get into this.
Go ahead.
Hype
us up.
No. I said it on the video. As of right now, and this could change in 2 weeks. As of right now, Puka Nacua is the rookie of the year.
And I love that because I have his rookie card.
Selfish reasons.
And Brock Purdy too, even though he did me dirty on Sunday Night Football against the Ravens.
I mean, Puka Nacua is on pace to break receiving yards and catches for a rookie. And this is coming from a guy that's, I mean, just a nobody in the draft. Nobody knew who this guy was. With Cooper Kupp, without Cooper Kupp, people have forgotten right now what CJ Stroud was. And hey, CJ, you want that rookie of the year back? You want that trophy? That's what you want? You want it back? I understand he was an MVP candidate, but as of right now, the front runner is Puka Nacua. People have forgotten what CJ Stroud did. And when they look at his last game, they're going to look at the Jets game. And it wasn't pretty that game. It wasn't pretty for the Texans whatsoever. So right now, CJ Stroud is second in the rookie of the year race. He's got 2 games to prove it. And I wouldn't mind 620 passing yards in 2 games. And let's go 7 tutties.
Ooh.
I would not mind that. 7 total touchdowns. Wouldn't mind that whatsoever. Go out there and dominate. Go out there and do your thing, kid. Go show me what you're made of. Titans, Colts. I'm telling you, man, the Texans, they got no excuses, and they have to go out there and they have to flex a little bit, man. And I'm excited for the Colts game, not to get ahead. I am excited about it, but we got to it's the Titans first. There ain't no Colts conversation without beating the Titans. And the Titans, they want to spoil the season. They want to.
The Panthers are already talking about it for the Jaguars.
I mean, You know, Mike Vrabel is that kind of guy. He
Mm-hmm.
wants every chance to spoil the season for the Houston Texans. You know it. And the Texans got to be ready. They can't just walk into Tennessee. Oh, well, CJ's back, so we got it. That killed me.
And shout out to my boy Josh. Josh, drop the link in the chat right here. He does GTA, he does Apex, he does everything gaming wise. And shout out to Ross Blacklock, Houston Texans legend, but he has a beef with Harley. Just a TikTok beef. Smokey said, missed you on the AFC roundtable, Ruben, but shout out to Harley for holding it down. I want to run out and still the division champs because they trash us every weekend there. Yes, I was not able to go yesterday. Shout out to Harley for not only representing the Houston Texans, but representing the Believe in Texans podcast. I mean, did
Mm,
not back down from anyone.
mm.
The roundtable absolutely loved him. I loved him as well. Let's keep on going, man. 71 people in the chat. Once again, Josh, feel free to drop your link and I'll post it up here. Um, dude, are we overlooking Tennessee? Because I'm not gonna lie to you. Here, like I am not going to cap. I'm already looking at the Colts like you. Those two dumbasses, Andrew Manrique said, hey, listen,
Thanks
you're
for watching.
watching this, so what does that make you?
Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching. And I mean, I don't want to overlook them. I'm not going to overlook them. But
No.
yes, do I got maybe a good little percentage of my brain thinking about, man, if we win, we're going to Indianapolis on the road, for all the marbles potentially. Yes, that's in the back of my mind. But you got to take care of Tennessee. Like I said, you do not have a conversation next week. You do not have no sort of hype conversation next week without Tennessee, without beating Tennessee. Like I said, man, Mike Vrabel and that team, I expect them to be ready for everything from this Texans team. I expect them to actually give them a good game.
Mm.
I do. The Tennessee Titans, I think they're getting. Well, I mean, I'd say watch out for trick plays.
I don't think
Watch
Willie
out.
just plays on Sunday.
I don't know if he does or doesn't. I know Ryan Tannehill seems like the likely starter for the Titans this Sunday. I'm not sure if Will Levis plays or not, but I'm not going to doubt this Mike Vrabel team. He loves it when the chips are stacked against him. Like he likes being the underdog, and he has proven it way too many times. And I'm telling Texans fans, man, just be cautious of this game. Take care of business. You should whoop their ass. You should absolutely whoop the Titans' ass. Take care of business, play your game, and get this dub. And let's move on next week.
I agree. And I think once again, the Houston Texans have a challenge in front of them of beating a team they're supposed to beat. Because,
Yes.
since we're playing Tennessee, we could go back to the game where we played against them. 0.6 yards allowed to Derrick Henry. And I don't think that happens at home. I don't think that happens at home. And then you think about CJ Stroud returning. You know who wasn't also against the Tennessee Titans? Nico Collins.
Mm.
Neither was Kareem Jackson. Hey,
Mm.
shout out to him. Yeah, I'll throw it
I'll
in
throw that
there.
in there.
I'll throw a little basil in there just to make it a little more, like a little bit more flavorful. I'll saute the pan a little bit, but I'm like you said, take care of the teams you are supposed to be taking care of. And once again, another huge game for D'Amico Ryans. Like to get in the postseason in year one. I mean, he's also fighting for Coach of the Year. And I think if he could win these last two games, because one of them's at home. So if you are going to the game, loud as you could be.
Mm.
And then, like you just mentioned, Harley, week 18 at Indianapolis, Garner Minshew against CJ Stroud, potentially for first place in the AFC South.
I mean, that would be absolutely fun. We'll get into that conversation, but I'm not ready for that conversation just yet. Again, I'm sorry. I need the Texans to take care of damn business this Sunday against the Tennessee Titans. You're
Mm,
at home and you should whoop their ass. And damn it, if I don't see an ass whooping, I will be a little disappointed by this Texans team. I
mm,
would. You should whoop this team's ass. You got to take care of business. Don't play with your food. Don't do none of that. The Houston Texans should beat the Tennessee Titans. Don't let them get no life. Don't let them think they can beat you. Put your foot on the neck and keep it going. Like, just get rid of them. Don't even like, man, I want it to be a blowout. I don't want to be no nail biting, edge of my seat kind of game that the Houston Texans continue to throw out week after week after week. Like, I don't want to see it. I want to see the Houston Texans take care of business against the Tennessee Titans.
mm, mm, mm. I think they will, bro. I definitely think they will. Does KJack TV come back?
Oh, the Texans already posted the old KJack TV's logo from way back when he was here in H Town. I'm excited, bro. Like KJack TV, he was. I mean, come on, that was must watch
It
YouTube
was what you had to look
content.
forward to, bro.
Wait, what's up?
Like it was like like you looked forward
Yo,
to it
yeah,
because you knew it was gonna be funny.
yeah, like you get a little behind the scenes look. He asking these crazy questions, what player would date? Would you let this player, X player, date your daughter or whatever? Like, bro, people saying I wouldn't let Clowney date my daughter. And all of them just start laughing, and you're like, what is this inside joke on
Hmm.
Jadavion Clowney that we don't know about? Like, it makes you laugh, and you don't know the inside joke. So it's so much great content. It was so much better. It was better with KJack TV,
Oh
not
yeah,
B Scar TV. Oh, shout out to Brandon
dude.
Scarlett.
What happened to Brendan Scarlett? Is he still
I
in the
have no
league?
clue. I have no clue. I think he's gone, bro. I think he's done from the league.
I mean, we were just hyping on mid, bro.
Yeah, yeah, man. That's what we were doing with Brandon Scarlett. Like, oh man, B Score, yeah, man. That guy right there, he sets the edge. He sets the edge. That's all you say. That's
That's
it.
all you said. Dude, shout out to Brendan Scarlett, the old 57.
Everyone in the comments now crapping on Brandon Scarlett. I didn't mean for that, bro.
That
I hope he's doing well somewhere, man.
that dude, that's someone like I forgot about.
It made me remember because I saw the video that got reposted from several fans
Hmm.
from KJack TV talking about, would you let this ex player date your daughter or whatever? And 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 Brendan Scarlett was there, and I was like, oh my god, I remember when he took over for KJack TV, and I will explain the beef, so-called beef with Ross Blacklock. Okay, excuse me, Oscar. You misspelled a name there. Let's dot our I's and cross our T's and make sure we're spelling the name right. All right. There's an L in Blacklock, not a C, and I won't say it for anyone listening. Um, so Ross Blacklock got upset because on TikTok I posted a meme, and I post several memes. If anybody follows me, make sure you do. I post a lot of funny memes. I'm just a meme guy on TikTok. I post a bunch of Houston sports memes, mostly Texans, some Astros, some Rockets. And one of the memes uh, was Ross Blacklock being drafted by the Houston Texans, and it's Usher singing, "Oh no, 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 no," and the caption was, "Don't look up who was picked right after him," and it was obviously Jonathan Taylor. Ross Blacklock, I found his on TikTok, and I him on TikTok, and and he got mad at me, and he DM'd me to delete the video because it's disrespectful And he said he knows I wouldn't do it in front of his face. And obviously, I wouldn't do it in front of his face. The dude's 6'4", 280. I mean, look, man, I don't care. I'll tell Ross Blacklock he wasn't a good player. He didn't play good for the Houston Texans any day in front of his face. Whatever he wants to do to me afterwards, I mean, cool. I have no problem making money off a player that wants to physically abuse me some way, somehow. And then he blocked me
You
on
gonna let him
TikTok.
beat your ass?
I mean, if I'm going to get that bank,
Yeah,
let
he
me
was
see
a
what
second round pick. He made a couple mil.
he went to the Vikings. Actually, was decent there. Hey,
How long was he with the
I'm
Vikings for?
it feels like I want to say 3 years. That's what I'll guess.
Really?
Yeah, I want to say about 3 years. Now I feel like that's a good guess. I feel like
That's
that's a good guess.
3 is impressive.
Yeah. And so yeah, he blocked me on TikTok. So that's the story. Ross Blacklock got mad at me and he got his feelings hurt and got butt hurt. And he blocked me on TikTok because I would have every Texans fan would have rather had Jonathan Taylor than Ross piece of crap Blacklock. Come on. Let's be real. I mean, let's be real. Ross Blacklock was not doing it for us. JJ Watt got pissed with Ross Blacklock for some stupid shit. That just tells me Ross Blacklock wasn't doing his thing in the locker room either.
Shut up.
Hey man, I'm finna get all of his net worth, bro.
Shut up.
Finna get his net worth, bro.
Harley, you you know, I don't say this to a lot of people, but you don't deserve to see heaven. You bro.
I love loving, bro. I love living. I like to make people laugh. That's what I do, bro.
75 people in the chat. We are talking about the latest Houston Texans news. CJ Stroud, not out of concussion protocol just yet, but is working his way back. And like I said, I think he's limited tomorrow. Jimmy Ward goes on IR. Kareem Jackson back with the Houston Texans is rocking 22. You know, despite coming off a loss, and you know, it's weird that we're talking this confidently after a loss against the Cleveland Browns, but when it's without CJ, man, there's so many outliers in the game. And I totally feel like if CJ Stroud plays against the Titans, it's a dub. If he plays against the Browns, hell, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a dub too. It's with CJ as your quarterback, and it's so crazy that we're talking about a rookie like this. Can you imagine if that sophomore slump hits hard? You know how the city of Houston is going to react. Have you thought about what would happen? Because I have.
So I'll say this, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, what if he regresses?" And I'm like, "Okay, we're gonna have the Sauce Gardner conversation." Sauce Gardner was an All-Pro cornerback in his rookie year, and oh no, Sauce Gardner's having a bad year. Oh no, that just sucks. He's a top 10 cornerback now. Like that's just horrible. CJ Stroud is in arguably top 5 quarterback conversations. He's an MVP candidate at some point multiple times throughout this year. So if he's going to regress in any way, then that just sucks. He's a top 10 quarterback. Like, I mean, that's how I'm looking at it. Like, if he regresses in any way, he's already so good that if he regresses, he's finally gonna. Trevor Lawrence might maybe catch up to him. Like that, like Trevor Lawrence to me is a top 10 quarterback, but like a bottom 10 quarterback between 8 to 12. You know, and so if CJ Stroud regresses, what's he gonna fall to? 7, 8, 9? I'll take that for my second year, for my rookie quarterback for his second year. I'll take that, but I'll tell you this right now. That documentary the Houston Texans posted of CJ Stroud on their YouTube channel.
Was that them or was it someone else?
No. I believe it was the Houston Texans. I could be wrong. I've seen everyone post it, but I never really saw where the destination was. I thought it was the Houston Texans. But this man's talking to a wide receiver, a young wide receiver. I want to say he's going to Ohio State.
It's by Nick in Cut. And by the looks of it, Okay, no, I was about to say it was the guy that we met at training camp, but no.
Oh, and he mentioned to this wide receiver, young wide receiver. I think he's like going to Ohio State or something. Well, CJ Stroud's working out with him.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a great quote. CJ Stroud said that if I'm not trying to be Brady, then what else am I doing?
Facts.
And it's like, dude, what? Like, he's trying to outwork Brady. Like, dude, there's not many people. Like, you're going to fail doing that, but he doesn't care. Like, he wants to be the greatest. He wants to be the best quarterback of all time. That's his mentality. He has the drive to be the GOAT, the greatest of all time. That's his drive. That's what feeds him every Sunday. That's
Mm-hmm.
what he wakes up to. Different players have different motivation. That's his motivation. He wants to be the best of all time. Okay. I mean, I haven't had a quarterback ever speak like that for my franchise. Deshaun Watson never said that.
I mean, he talked about going toe to toe with the GOAT.
He talked about being legendary, but I never heard him like that was on camera for all the national media
Yeah.
and whatnot. But I've never seen this was like a private video almost.
And that was like like maybe a week after he got drafted.
Yeah. And that's what it's so crazy is, like it makes me think of Lamar Jackson when he got drafted. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bring Super Bowl to the Baltimore Ravens. That's exactly what I want to hear from the pick I just drafted. Like, I want that mentality. And so for CJ Stroud to say, hey, like, I'm here to be the GOAT. Like, I'm trying to outwork Tom Brady. What makes me think I can't do what Tom Brady do? And we know that CJ Stroud, there's been the reports that, he really liked Tom Brady talking with him, and he really admired who he was as a football player
Mm-hmm.
and what he was in terms of the NFL. CJ Stroud, if he's going to get into excellence, that's the greatest guy to learn what excellence is
Mm-hmm.
at the quarterback position. And I mean, I know he's got the numerous rings to back it up. I'll take a third of those. I'll take a third of those. Like,
Like 2 rings, 2 CJ Stroud rings.
I'm good. I'm cool with two SB chips. Like, I'm happy. I'm happy. Shit. I'm happy as happy could be if that happens.
We're going to the playoffs, Harley.
It's a great conversation, man. It feels great to say. Nobody was saying this, man. Nobody.
No one.
No one was saying that.
And like, so I went to all our other people who do YouTube channels, and I did their predictions, and I went to the predictions stuff like that. And first of all, there was only like 4 or 5 people. It was us, but no one had the Texans being like this. Then I went to
Really?
national media. I went to ESPN,
Oh, it's worse.
and it was worst roster in the NFL on paper. And it was once again, you will be selected in the top 3, and you just gifted the Arizona Cardinals Caleb Williams, or you gifted them Marvin Harrison Jr. Adam Thielen said that he went to the Carolina Panthers to win a Super Bowl. That is also something that their free agent running back, who they gave him 26 million? What was his name? Was it Sanders?
Miles Sanders. Where's he at?
And for the Houston Texans to do what they're doing, and it's not like they've been skimping by these wins. They're not barely winning these games. It's comeback drives. It's CJ Stroud only having 46 seconds. It's Kaimi Fairbairn nailing a 54-yarder. This Houston Texans team has surpassed everyone's expectations this year, and there is no reason to not think that this team cannot make the postseason. And then when you do get in the postseason, Harley, as we know, anything could happen.
It's true. I mean, you go back to 0-0. And if the Houston Texans, Will Anderson could be back for the Colts game potentially, but like Cashman looks like he's going to be back. CJ Stroud should be back. You're relatively healthy. Like, hey,
Mm.
is it perfect? No. Would you like, Tank Dell? Obviously. Would you like all your bullets to be in the chamber? Obviously. But Houston Texans got themselves a solid chance of probably making some noise in the playoffs. Who knows? Maybe they get a dub. You imagine getting a win in the playoffs?
At home,
I mean, that would be so much fun. I'd be so happy.
where would you rank that win?
Oh man, it's going to be high. It is.
Over
It might
CJ
be.
against, I'm sorry, over Deshaun against the Bills?
It's so tough, and it's probably so just because of the bad taste in my mouth from redacted. But like, it'll probably rank higher because of just
Mm.
what that name means to the city of Houston now. But in reality, yeah, I would think so. I would, just because of like what you mentioned, the national media just taking a big old doo doo on you.
It was
Like,
bad.
it was horrible. Like, I mean, Stephen A. Smith, I'm still waiting on an apology. I mean, he said that the Houston Texans organization were racists and that no black coaches should ever go to the Houston Texans. I never got an apology for that because D'Amico Ryan said, "I'll take it. Ding, ding, ding. I'll do it. No problem."
Oh, I did not forget the amount of people that said D'Amico won't even go there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because of our organization. They're like, "Oh, he's going to Denver." We should have got Sean Payton. Denver got the better head coach. Remember those
Mhm.
conversations? Where's Denver at?
They
Not
just
only did
benched
we
Russell
beat them,
Wilson.
not only did we beat them, they're gonna cut their quarterback, and they sitting their ass in them already. They already got the couch warm, toasty. They got their favorite movie on TV, and they popping popcorn.
Mm, man, a lot of things could happen, and these last 4 weeks have felt like a whole season because it feels
Yeah,
like every single day, like just one bit of news would dictate how I feel going into Sunday. And this is the last home game of the year. So if you haven't, can y'all please make your way? If you don't want to go to the game, do what I do. I go to the tailgate to get slaughtered. Shout out to the Nuff Sale tailgaters. You do not have to buy a ticket to walk in and go to the tailgate. I haven't paid a ticket all year. Go ahead, go to the tailgate, smash this like button, guys. 73 people in the chat. And let's really support this Houston Texans team because, Harley, I'm not sure if you remember this, but it was at the Miller Lite Outdoor Theater after we drafted CJ and we traded up for Will Anderson Jr. And I think it was either you or Danny, or I don't know, I think it was just you. You were like, "Can you imagine if we make the playoffs?" And I was like, "Dude, like it will be one of the biggest stories ever." And we're there. We're there. The future is right there in front of us, brother.
it's so much fun to finally see it come to fruition. And
Mm-hmm.
it's fun to see that we are playing relevant football. We're back in the realm of 32. We have a competent head coach. We have a
Mm-hmm.
good to great quarterback, and the future just seems to be so bright here in Houston. We got boatloads of cap space that could be coming our way this coming year. So it is so much fun to be a Texans fan right
Mm-hmm.
now. If you're not on the train, get a ticket, grab your seat, and get ready, folks, because D'Amico Ryans and CJ Stroud are leading this thing. And it is so much fun to be on board and watch this live. Enjoy it, Texans fans. The future is bright. So enjoy it. Don't blink. Because when you blink, it's over.
Mm.
It's over. Like, I mean, I still remember the days of Kubiak when they had their highs,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels like forever ago. And it's like,
Yeah.
damn, like it feels like so long that the Houston Texans, when they had Reliant rocking,
Ooh,
I mean, Reliant was rocking,
it was
and
different.
I can't wait to see NRG have, pun intended, boatloads of energy inside it again. I cannot wait to see the Texans fans just, you know, engulfing the seats with battle red, steel blue, Liberty white. I can't wait to see it again. I'm sick of seeing opposing fans have big sections for themselves. I'm sick of seeing it. I really am. I need the Houston Texans and the fans to get back on track and do their thing and represent this team the way they should be.
So the Browns game was pretty packed. I'm not gonna lie. There was
Yeah,
definitely a lot more Texans fans than Browns fans, but there was still, a bit of the dog pound there. I really hope this game is the most packed it's been. And I think, like you, man, the fans are kind of scared to really put their trust, their faith back into this Houston Texans team. And you guys don't have to tell us how you feel because we've been through it our whole lives. But like Harley is saying, we're going to remember who was here with us, why we are watching this team. So tap in now. Jump on the bandwagon now if you have not, because things are about to get crazy. And me and Harley are not going to forget who was with there the entire time of the way. I've seen Venom multiple times. I've seen Flame Hashira multiple times. I've seen Lumineer multiple times. When we do win a Super Bowl, those are going to be the people I'm thanking in the videos, I'm thanking in the streams, because this has been a journey. It has not been easy being a Houston Texans fan, being a Houston Texans content creator. And honestly, out of my 5 years doing videos, this is the most exciting that I've done.
yeah,
Like really, because it's not just because before it was Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins.
yep.
Now it is CJ. It is Tank. It is Derek Stingley. It's all your young core making plays for you, man.
Yeah, it is, man. It's been so much fun to finally get into this situation, and I can't wait to keep moving forward, man. I can't wait for it. But it all starts Sunday against the Tennessee Titans. It all starts there, and I said it before, and I'll say it again. Take care of damn business. Don't let the Tennessee Titans think they can beat you. Don't let it happen. So go on in to NRG. Do your thing, Texans fans. Do your thing, CJ Stroud, D'Amico Ryans, and all the boys in the back.
Mhm.
Do y'all stay? Take out the Titans, and let's focus on to getting that next dub the
Ooh.
following week.
79 people in the chat. Before we go, Harley, let them know where they can find you.
You can find me at the lead underscore Houston, HOU, anywhere on all social media platforms. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Lead Houston, where we are on the road to 8,000 subscribers, already at 5,100
Mm.
subscribers. So I appreciate everybody that liked, commented, subscribed. If you missed the live stream here, you can check it out on my YouTube channel. You can check it out on Ruben's YouTube channel, or preferably, if you like to listen to it audibly, you can go to the Believe in Texans podcast, where we stream it all audibly anywhere where you stream all your podcasting platforms: Spotify, Apple, Google. And in the last shout out, I'm rocking some Dirty Dog apparel. This is from my boy, good friend of mine, ACL. He's
Mm.
running his own apparel. It's called Dirty Dog. If
I need
anybody
one.
is, if anyone, what's up?
I need one.
Yeah, man. If anyone's interested, it's dirtydogshop.com, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but Dirty Dog is his Instagram handle. So you can go on there, get you a shirt, soft, comfy shirt. And the best thing, you wash it and they don't shrink.
Mm.
Fantastic. So if anybody's interested in it, then hey, go ahead and click the link, follow that Instagram, Dirty Dog, type it into the Instagram handle, and let's get it on.
That hoe is kind of loud. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, let me see that hoe again.
Yes, sir.
Does it come in
Dirty
black?
Dog, bro. What's up?
Does it come in black?
Yeah, we got black too.
See, something like that I could wear to the club. I wouldn't mind that whatsoever. And and like I said, like, he put it out on his. That was lit. That was
I
lit.
got to represent for my homie. He's had my back for so long. He is the creator of the intro for the YouTube channel, The League.
Yeah.
So good stuff coming from him.
And like I said, just for me, just go on YouTube, 713 Houston Sportcast. We just hit 9K subscribers, trying to hit 10K by hopefully the end of the season. Rudy said, is CJ coming back, bro? Absolutely. We will see him on Sunday against Tennessee. A-Sign Ultimate said, y'all the homies. Y'all know me, but y'all don't know me. Red Diamond Ice T. Look, one day we are gonna just get everyone together and go to like a wing spot or somewhere we could all watch the game. We did that back when Texans Unfiltered was still a thing. Me,
Yeah.
Harley, Cody, James, Storm made an appearance. Shout out to Patrick Storm. So we will definitely try to do that again. Hey, I mean, if we're in the playoffs, we might be talking about a get together. But nonetheless, this episode was brought to you all by Bet Online. Jump into the action. Use our promo code BLEAV. And guys, do me a favor. Have a real blessed rest of your night. Go Houston Texans, and we